All right, guys, time's up. Go ahead and put your pencils down. And you guys are going to hand up your assignments. And then I'm going to give them back to you here in a little bit after we take our quick quiz. So next thing I'm going to give you is our quiz on transportation. So I'm going to give you your quiz. I want you to write your name at the top, and then I'm going to tell you the directions. Okay, for each form of transportation, you are going to list 2 advantages and you're going to list 2 disadvantages of each. When you are done, I want you to circle the type of transportation you think would have been the best way of transportation. So transportation means to get around. So when we're all done, you're either going to circle railroads, canals, or overland wagons, which would be the best way to get around in the 19th century. So go ahead and put your finger on number 1. I'm going to explain this to you a little bit better. What is that underlined word, Brylan?
Railroads.
Railroads. So that's your way of transportation. You see advantage number 1 and number 2? You're going to write on that sentence strip your 2 advantages of railroads. And then you're going to go down and you're going to write 2 disadvantages of railroads. So what kind of stunk about a railroad? Or what kind of problems did they run into back in the 18th century when they first made them? And then put your finger on number 2. You're going to go down to number 2 and you're going to do the same thing for canals. Finger on number 2. And then after you guys put your advantages and disadvantages for canals, you're going to move down to number 3. So go ahead and put your finger on number 3. You're going to do the same thing but for wagons, okay? So remember, we're quiet when we take our test. So go ahead and pick up your pencils and you guys can get started. Guys, time's up. Go ahead and put your pencils down and turn in your quizzes. Thank you. Good job. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and move on. We get to go over our Venn diagrams now. Okay, you are going to take this one is Traven and this one is Brylan, and I'm going to get mine out and I'm going to bring it up to the board because we are going to share our ideas and make one big one for the class. So advancements in America have many advantages that will take advantage of today, even though they happened a long time ago. So a lot of things that happened a long time ago, transportation might look completely different than it does now of what it looked like back in the day. So just taking that test we took, remember, we want to know with a really good chance, like 5 out of 6 correct, we want 3 forms of transportation. We want to know the advantages and the disadvantages to them, okay? All right, now we are going to, actually before we go to that, we are going to go over our Venn diagram so that we can put it on the class Venn diagram, okay? So I want each person to give me one thing that they can compare and contrast from before the 19th century to after, okay? And if they're really, really good, we might add some more in there, okay? Traven, why don't you go ahead and give me one? What do you want to do, before, after, or maybe in the middle?
I'll do in the middle.
The middle? Okay. What did you say?
I said people and family because there's people before the century and after.
Okay.
And another one I said sickness.
So you're saying that there was sickness back in the day and there's still sickness now?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, huh? People still get sick. That's a great one. Okay, Brylan, why don't you give me something for before the 19th century? Before we had those advancements.
They're staying in one place and walking.
So they're walking. They're definitely not getting around by a plane or a railroad. So walking is a great one. Walking, and then you said that they're staying in one place. They can't get around. It just takes a really long time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Traven, why don't you give me my last one, buddy? After the 19th century advancements, tell me what America might have looked like.
Wagons. There might be some wagons.
Wagons.
Cars. Like cruise ships.
Oh, wow.
And traveling.
So lots of traveling. A cruise ship. So things seem a little bit more fun after the 19th century, huh?
Yes.
You got cruise ships now. Definitely more fun. All right, good job, guys. You guys' Venn diagram looks great. We have before, we have walking and staying in one place. And then after those advancements, we have you able to go places. You have wagons, cars, and cruise ships. But no matter what, you have sickness in America, and you also have lots of people, and you have families. So that's great. All right, last thing as we tidy up our lesson before we go to lunch is we're going to go over our questions one more time, and hopefully we know them a little bit better, right, after our lesson. All right, number 1, can you prove to me that the railroads benefited the growth of the nation? Brylan?
Yes.
Okay, you said yes.
Because the people got to travel into different places and spread it out.
Nice. They got to travel and they spread it out. They spread everything. People, houses, building, trade, disease. They spread a lot of things because of the railroads. All right, number 2. Can you predict what might be the result of building a railroad from the Atlantic to the Pacific coast? From one part of the United States to the other. What might be a result if you made that long railroad from one part to the other? Yes, ma'am.
Lots of people would go all those places.
Lots of people will travel. Yes, do you have something to add?
Lots of people, and there would be a lot of places that they'll go to.
There'll be a lot more places that they'll go to, right? Because they can build in different places. Yes, sir. All right, number 3, last one. How did the railroads affect trade in America? How did it affect trade? Brylan?
People would trade a lot faster.
Ooh, I like that word. They traded faster. Yeah, because they might have traded before, but it would take a long time to get things from one place to the other using just a horse. So I really like that word. They are much faster. All right, guys. So that's it for today. We're going to jump back on this tomorrow. So let's go ahead and pack up and get ready for lunch.
Okay.
All right.